Good day, everyone. Today we will be having our last lesson for the preliminaries. So we have lesson number 4. But before we proceed with the discussion proper, so let's have a quick recap about the last lesson. So lesson number 3, that's all about mathematical language and symbols. So let's start with the mathematical language. So mathematical language is a system of communication that usually use not in the form of words and sentences or vocabulary. Instead, we use symbols. The numbers, the variables, the operation symbols, the grouping symbols, so on and so forth. Our mathematical language has three characteristics: that's precise, concise, and powerful. Then we also classify the two mathematical language that we have. It is mathematical expression and mathematical sentence. So what is the difference between the two? Mathematical expression uses the correct structure of symbols. Um, However, it doesn't give a complete thought. Okay, so we cannot assess or evaluate if it is saying the truth or not. And at the same time, we also have mathematical sentence. In this naman, it yields to an answer or to a result. So still, it uses a correct structure of symbols, and yon, meron siyang sagot. And usually, we can find equality or inequality symbols. Ayan, so usually mga equal sign yung nakikita natin. Okay, so yun po yung indication na ang ating mathematical language is a sentence. Then we also did translations from English language to mathematical language and vice versa. So we have incorporated so many words, or we listed so many words that we can use to translate the basic operations or the concept for our mathematical language. And then we also have more mathematical symbols that we listed in a table. So hopefully you have memorized that because it is included in our exams. Yan. So be mindful lang sa mga meanings noon. Let's have lesson number 4. It's all about sets, functions, and relations. Now, ano po kaya yung ating learning objectives for this lesson? So starting with, ayan, the first part, sets. So define a set and its basic terminologies. Then find the union, intersection, and difference of the given sets. Ayan. So let's start with the introduction. What is a set? So this word is introduced in 1879 by George Cantor, which he defines simply as a collection of elements. Ayan. So clarification, yung pangalan ni George Cantor, talagang walang E dun sa George niya. Alright? Ayan. So point out lang natin doon. Now, yun. Sabi nga ni George Cantor, ang atin daw pong sets is a collection of elements. But not only basta-bastang elements. It should be well-defined objects. So yung pwedeng yung madaling i-define, madaling ma-understand ng nakararami. Ayan. So, any elements will do. Any objects will do. Basta, well-defined siya. Alright? So, usually, our set is denoted with braces or curly brackets. So, ganito po yung itsura. Hopefully, ay marunong kayong gumawa ng ganyan. So, we call it braces. So, naka-enclose daw yung elements ng ating set inside braces. And usually, we named our sets using a capital letter. So, any letter in the alphabet will do, basta naka-capital letter siya. So, an example of a set is this. A set of counting numbers from 1 to 5. Now, how can we form this into a set notation using braces? So, ganito ang itsura niyan. So, you can name your set using any capital letter. So, in this case, we call this set A kasi yun yung ginamit nating letter. So, set A is equal to, ayan, ano po ba yung mga elements natin sa loob? Counting numbers from 1 to 5. So, we're just going to list all the elements. And we are going to separate them using a comma. Yan. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, moving forward, ayan, we also have these examples. So, the description says, a set of an English alphabet from A to E. So, how can we transform that into a set notation? So, in this case, we call this set B. So, set B has A, B, C, D, and E elements. Ayan, kasi yun yung nakalagay doon. So, we also have a set of even numbers. Yan. So, what can you notice about the set notation for this example? Yan. So, we have this symbol. What do we call this symbol? Yung tatlong tuldok. So, we call it ellipses. Correct. So, it indicates continuous or infinite. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman nakalagay sa description ng ating given kung hanggang saan lang yung kasamang element doon sa ating set. So, set C consists of 2, 4, 6, 8. then so on and so forth. Okay? The same thing with this example. So ito lang naman, add numbers lang yung binigay. Ano? So as you can see, still, hindi naman given kung ano yung last element. So we're going to use this symbol. So ganun lang mag-transform ng ating descriptive to set notation. Okay, then aside from that, we also have what we call the element of a set. So yun nga yung nabanggit ni ma'am kanina, yung each member of the set or yung nasa loob ng ating set, we called it an element. And our element is usually represented by this symbol, yung parang letter E. O, ito yung symbol na makita nyo dun sa previous lesson that we have on the table. Ano? So yung letter E na yan, we call it element. So it means nga that an item belongs to a set. So for example, I have set B here, A, B, C, D, E. Now, paano natin magagamit yung ating symbol na element? So we have this example. Ayan. So A is an element of B. That's how we read it. Ano? So tama po ba na ang A ay element ni B or ni set B? Of course, yes. Ano? So si A ay makikita po natin doon. Okay, sa loob ni set B. So this is correct. Ano? Okay, we also have B is an element of set B. Is that correct? Yes, kasi may B uli doon. Okay? O, ganun din si letter C. We can find C inside our set B. Yun si C. Ano? So, all of this given is an element of set B. How about F? Is F an element of set B? Obviously, it's not kasi wala tayong mahanap dyan na F. So, how can we represent this using a symbol? So, instead of using this symbol to represent element of, paano yung not an element of? O, yan. Edi lalagyan lang natin ng slash sa gitna. Okay? To indicate na hindi siya element ng set B. So, F is not an element of set B. Yan. So, ganyan siya sinusulat. Okay. Moving forward, ayan, I have now here different terminologies, okay, that we can use or we can encounter in our set topics. So the first one is unit set. Unit set contains only one element. So madali lang naman ma-recognize the unit set. Basta iisa yung laman, ang tawag natin dyan unit set. So this is an example of that. So set A has only one element, literal, na one. Ano? Set B, rather, has only one element. So that's C. And set C has one element. That's chicken. Then we also have empty set or null set. Ano? So, anong ibig sabihin? So, it is a set that has no element inside it. Ano? Example natin yan. The first one is empty set. Usually, yan, ganito ang makita yung given. Talagang blanco yung gitna. Empty nga eh. However, if meron kayong makitang ganitong symbol, yan. So, we will call it a null set because this is called null. Ano? So, kapag may laman tong gantong bilog, null set yan. Pero it indicates that there are no elements inside. Okay, however, kapag blanco lang, edi we call it empty set. Ano? So, yun lang naman ang distinction ng dalawa. Okay, aside from that, ano to? Sabi dyan, a set of 7 yellow dogs. Okay? So, why is it considered an empty set? Because in reality, wala namang yellow dog. Ano, unless na lang idaday ng may-ari. Ano? So, yun. In reality, walang 7 yellow dogs. So, we will recognize this as an empty set. Okay, so aside from that, we also have, ayan, paano to binabasa everyone? Hindi to finite. Okay? Hindi yan finite. So, ang pronunciation yan ay finite. Everybody say finite. Okay, good. So, finite set is a set in which the elements are countable. What do we mean by that? Nabibilang. Okay, so an example. Yan. So, set A has an element of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nabibilang ba? Of course. So, ilan po yung lamang element sa loob? 5. So, countable siya. Ano? So, ano yung opposite nitong finite set natin? O, hindi infinite ha. Finite set. Paano ang basa? Hindi yan infinite ha. O, alam niyo naman kung siguro kung anong basa dyan. That's infinite naman. So, infinite set, ayan. Or yung opposite lang na meaning ni finite set. So, that is not countable. Ano? So, usually, ano po yung makikita natin kapag infinite set siya? Yun. Yung 3 dots that indicates infinity. Or we call it ellipsis. So, hindi ka natin alam kung ano po yung katapusan. Okay, aside from those two, we also have here cardinal number. Cardinal number usually is represented by this variable n. So, sa madalit sabi, ito lang naman pong cardinal number is the number of elements in a given set. Yan. So, ilan lang yung laman na elements. That's cardinality. Ano? So, for example, I have here set A. Set A has an element of A, C, E, G. So, ano yung cardinal number nitong set A? 4. Bakit naging 4? Yan po yung dami ng elements inside. Yan, so, yun po ang cardinality niya. Okay, I have here another example. Ano yung cardinality naman ni set B? O, syempre, 5. That's the number of elements inside a set. Okay? So, after cardinality or cardinal number, ayan, meron naman ako ditong mga terminologies that uses two or more sets, ano, or nagko-compare ng two or more sets. So, the first one is equal set. How can we determine if a set is or if two sets are equal? Ano? If they have an equal number of cardinality and at the same time, the elements inside are identical. Dapat parehas din yung laman sa loob. Ano example? Ganyan. So, set A rather, has an element of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set B has an element of 5, 3, 4, 1, 2. Tama po ba na same lang sila ng number of cardinality? Tama. 5. Tig-5 sila. Tama rin po ba na same sila ng mga elements inside? Tama po. Okay lang kahit hindi naka-arrange ng um, in order katulad nung nauna. Ano, as long as tama pa rin or magkakaparehas pa rin yung laman sa loob. Okay. So what is equivalent set naman? So parang parehas, ano? Pero ano yung difference nila? So two sets are said to be equivalent if and only if they have the exact number of cardinality. So dito lang, ang pagkakaparehas lang daw nung ating mga sets ay may same silang cardinal number. Parehas sila lang ng dami ng bilang. So kahit hindi po magkakaparehas yung laman sa loob, equivalent set pa rin sila. So let's say for example, we have set A. Anong cardinal number nito? 5. Set B, ilan ang cardinal number nito? 5 din. So these two sets are said to be equivalent. Then, aside from that, ayan, we also have joint set. Okay? Ano po naman daw ang ibig sabihin ng joint set? So, two sets are said to be joint if and only if they do have common elements. So, what do we mean by that? Dapat meron silang parehong element inside of them. So, for example, I have here set A and set B. Are they joint? Do they have a common element? Yes. Pareha silang merong 1 inside. So, at least may isang magkapareho, joint set agad yan. But if there's more, edi joint pa rin naman. Ano? Okay. So, kung may joint set, of course, we also have this joint set. So, kabalik na naman siya ni joint set. So, this joint set or two sets that doesn't have a common element. Walang magkapares talaga dito. Yan. So, as you can see, set A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lang. Set B, yan, may equal po yan. Nawala lang. So, 6, 8, 11, 9, 13. So, wala talaga magkapareho. So, these two sets are disjoint. Okay. Yan. So, ayun, meron akong pinalitan dyan. So, universal set. Universal set is a collection of all elements in a particular situation or application. Usually, universal sets has all the elements that can be found from all other sets that are given. Kunyari, kung ano yung laman ni set A, yung laman ni set B, yung laman ni set C, lahat ng elements nila makikita ka universal set. And universal sets are represented by this symbol. So, hindi ko po, or hindi natin gagamitin yung U na to. Okay, kasi we also have another symbol here in our set topic that is similar to this. Now, to make it more different from that symbol, so ang gagamitin nating U na symbol is yung parang pa-cursive, yung may buntot, katulad niyan. Ano? So, letter U yan, hindi yan letter N. Yung parang ganon. Yan. So, if you want to represent your universal set, ito po yung iyong gagamiting symbol. Yung U na may buntot. Yung U na pa-cursive. Okay? So, example natin. So, if it is in descriptive form, ayan, let U be, or let universal set be the set of all animals on earth. Okay? So, yun yung ibig sabihin ni universal set eh. Collection ng lahat ng elements. Another example, yan. Let U be the set of all students in LCC. Okay, moving forward, we have different operations that we can use for our sets. So the first one is what we call union of sets. So in here daw, ano, so let A and B be the two given sets. The union of sets A and B should be denoted by this symbol. Ito yung sinasabi ni ma'am. Okay, kaya pinalitan natin yung symbol natin kay universal set kasi kapareho niya yung symbol na ginagamit natin for our union of sets. Ano? So two sets are joined, okay, for this operation. So we're going to combine all the elements that we can found in set A and set B. Tapos pagsasama-samain lang natin. Now, there are two ways that we can use to write our answer. So the first method is Venn diagram. Ano? So a Venn diagram or two circles that are joined together, overlapping with each other, ano, for the purpose of yung nasa gitnang part, yan po ay yung common elements between the two sets. So let's start with um, set A. Ano? So, in set A daw po, ang laman niya ay ito. Si 1, si 3, si 5, si 2, si 4, si 6. Yan daw yung laman ni set A. Okay. Next naman, yung laman ni set B. Ano daw yung laman ni set B? So, we have 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6. Okay? So, after natin ma-identify yung elements sa loob, okay, ni set A at ni set B, paano natin mapapakita yung union of sets? So, we are shading or coloring our Venn diagram. So, we're going to shade all, okay, of the areas containing set A and set B because atin nga silang pagsasamahin. We're going to combine all of the elements. So, shaded lahat, even doon sa gitna. If we're going to use naman set notation, paano natin mapapakita yung A union B? So, again, enclose natin sa braces yung ating elements. So, si 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Ayun. So, ganito everyone. Para mas mabilis mag-check, lalo na sa inyong exam, if the given is or contains number elements, naka-number, okay, please make it sure to arrange it from lowest to highest. Ano, hindi yung bali-baliktad ang paglalagay or paglilista ng elements. Again, kapag number, mag-start sa pinakamaliit hanggang sa pinakamalaki para mas madaling mag-check. However, if it is in letters, please also use alphabetical order. Okay? However, kapag parehas na may numbers at may letters, unahin nyo muna lagi si numbers. Pero dapat magkakasunod pa rin. Lowest to highest. Tapos ang letters naka-alphabetical order. Alright? So, I have here, ayan, may sagot na. So, in this example, we have three sets. Set A, Set B, and Set C. So, we're going to find the unions of this set. So, the first one is A union B. So, paano natin ilalagay yung ating sagot for A union B? So, again, enclose natin siya sa braces. Tapos yung elements ni A, 1, 2, isasama natin sa elements ni B, 2, 4, 5. Okay? Kapag may common element sila, may naulit na element, isang beses mo lang siyang ililista. So, isang beses mo lang ililista si 2. A, union C. Ano naman daw yung pagsasamahin ko? Si A at saka si C. Okay, so again, enclose natin siya sa braces. So, we have 1, 2, 5, 6. Again, yung 1 dito, isang beses lang siyang ililista kasi parehas na may 1. So, 1, 2, 5, 6. Ayan. So, did you get it, everyone? Paano naman kapag tatlo? Okay? So, paano naman natin ililist yung elements kapag tatlo yung sets natin? So, A, union B, union C. So, pagsasama-samahin lang natin lahat ng ating elements na naka-arrange pa rin. Starting with 1. Okay? Paano naman if we're going to use a Venn diagram? So, make an overlapping circles for each set. So, set A and set B. So, lalagyan muna natin ng element ay yung nasa gitna. Ano? So, again, the middle part represents the common elements between set A and set B. Ano ba yung common? Ano yung makaparehas kay set A and set B? 2. Ano? So, kaya, 2 yung nasa gitna natin. So, we have 2 here. Then, ano yung matitira kay A? May 2 na tayong nilagay sa gitna. So, we only have 1. So, yung 1, ilalagay na natin dun sa labas. Yung set A. And then, ano yung matitira naman kay set B? Nasulat na natin yung 2. We have 4 and 5. Now, to represent union, i-shade nga natin yung ating two circles. So, that's why in our exam, everyone, I want you to bring a pencil to shade the sets. Paano kapag tatluhan yung ating gagawan ng Venn diagram? So, dito, dapat overlapping to each other yung tatlong bilog. Yan. So, like this. So, pwedeng dalawang magkatabi, tapos yung isa nasa baba. Or, dalawang magkatabi, tapos yung isa nasa taas. Maalin naman ay pwede. Ano, basta overlap sila. Hindi pwede yung magkakatabi lang. So, let us name our first circle as our set A. Then we have set B. Then we have set C. So, unang-una, ano yung magkakaparehas sa kanilang tatlo? Meron ba? Wala. Walang numbers na magkakaparehas sa kanilang tatlo. Pero, may magkaparehas doon sa tigda dalawang sets lang. So, sa tatlo wala tayong lalagay. Walang lalagay sa gitna. However, may common between A and B. Ano yung common between A and B? 2. So, yun ang ilalagay natin dito. 2. Okay? May common ba between B and C? Yes, may magkaparehas. Si 5. So, 5 ang ilalagay ko dito. Then, we also have A and C. Ano yung magkaparehas kay A and C? 1. So, yun naman ang ilalagay ko dito. Okay? Oh. After filling in the middle part, yung common between all of the sets, dun naman tayo sa mga matitira sa each set. So, set A, ano na lang yung matitira kay set A? Meron na akong 1, meron na akong 2. May ilalagay pa ba ako dito sa labas? Wala na po. How about kay B? Meron na akong 2 at 5 dito. Ano pa yung matitira kay B? 4. So, yung 4, lagay natin siya dito sa labas. Okay, then we also have C. Meron na ang 1 at 5 dito kay C. Ano na lang yung matitira? O, syempre si 6. So, si 6 po yung ilalagay natin sa labas. Yan. So, that's how we put or fill our sets. Okay? So, paano natin i-represent yung union? O, dahil union yan, lahat yan may shade, including the middle part. Yan. So, shade natin yan lahat. So, yun lang. So, on the exam, please make sure that the elements inside are still visible or readable. Okay, now we have intersection of sets. So let A and B be the two given sets. The intersection of sets A and B, denoted by A intersection B, is the set of elements which are both A and B. So in here naman, ang atin pong kukuhanin lang is the common elements between the two sets. Ano lang yung magkaparehas, yun lang po yung ating magiging sagot. So again, two methods that we can use is our Venn diagram and the other one is the set notation. So sa Venn diagram, lagay po muna uli natin nga yung mga elements inside our two overlapping circles. So laman ni A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Laman ni B, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Then, ang shading lang na gagawin natin since ang sinasabi nga dyan is kung ano yung magkaparehas, yun lang yung may shade. Ano? How about set notation? So using set notation, okay, ang i-include lang natin sa loob ng ating braces is kung ano yung magkaparehas, K and B. So that's 2, 4, and 6. Now I have your examples again. So let's try to use both methods. The first one is set notation. Okay, so A intersection B. Ano daw po yung magkaparehas lang kay A and B? Ang magkaparehas lang kay A and B ay 2, 5. Is that correct? Ano magkaparehas naman kay A and C? Our answer is 1 and 5. This should be braces. Yan. Okay, paano kapag tatluhan? Titingnan, syempre, is ano yung common between the three sets? May magkakaparehas ba sa tatlong sets? Dapat sa kanilang tatlo, yung pare-parehas. 5. Lahat sila may 5. So, yun lang, sagot natin. 5. Did you get it, everyone? Okay, how about using Venn diagram? So, let's try the first example, si A and si B. So, this will be A, this will be B. Okay, filling in what's in the middle. Ano? So, ano yung common between A and B again? Ang common between A and B is 2 and 5. So, yung lalagay ko dun sa gitna. 2, 5. Okay, next. Ano yung matitira kay A? Naisulat na natin si 2 and 5. So, matitira kay A ay 1. Ano matitira kay B? Nasulat na natin si 2 and 5. Siyempre si 4. Now, paano ang shading kapag intersection? Shading kapag intersection, siyempre ang shading lang ay yung gitna. Yan. Did you get it? Paano kapag tatluhan? Yan. So, siyempre gawa tayo ng tatlong overlapping na circles. So, again, pwedeng sa taas yung pangatlo, pwedeng sa baba yung pangatlo. Okay, so this is A, this is B, this is C. So, let's start filling in what's in the middle, yung magkakapareha sa kanilang tatlo. Again, ang magkakapareha sa kanilang tatlo ay 5. Okay, next. Ano naman yung magkaparehas kay A at B? 5 at 2. So, nasulat ko na yung 5 dito. O, doon naman natin siya ilalagay sa taas. Okay? O, next. B and C. Magkaparehas pa ba kay B and C aside from 5? Wala na. So, wala tayong ilalagay dito. Next, A and C. Ano yung magkaparehas kay A and C? Aside from 5? Yes, we have 1. So, 1 naman ang ilalagay ko dito. Correct? Next, ano yung matitira kay A? Wala na, nasulat na natin si 1, 2, 5. Next, anong matitira kay B? Nasulat na natin si 2 and 5. Yes, 4. Then, ang matitira kay C, syempre ay 6. Paano ang shading kapag intersection? Again, common between the 3. Dito lang ang may shade. Si 5. Did you get it, everyone? Okay, next operation, we have yan, difference or set difference. So, the difference between sets A and B is denoted by A minus B, which is the set that contains elements of set A that are not found in B and vice versa. So, paano po siya ginagawa? Ang una pong ginagawa dito is to locate the common elements between A and B. Tagtagin. Pag natagtag yung magkaparehas kay set A and B, anong matitira doon sa naunang set sa given? So, in this case, ang naunang letter ay A. Kaya, ang shaded part ay yung si set A. However, kapag naman ang naunang letter is si B, pagkatapos matagtag yung magkaparehas kay A and B, ano ang matitira naman kay B? So, paano ang shading? O, dito naman sa kabila. Ano ang matitira kay B? Yun ang shaded. Tapos ito, blanco siya. Gets ba? So, be mindful kung ano yung naunang letter doon sa ating given. For example, I have here the first example, A minus B. Okay, paano natin siya isusulat as set notation? Again, sabi ni ma'am, tagtagin ang magkaparehas na element between A and B. Ano ang magkaparehas kay A and B? 2. O, tinagtag. Tapos, ano ang matitira kay A? 1. So, yun yung ating sagot. Again, kung ano lang yung matitira kay A? 1. How about A minus C? Sa A minus C naman, ang magkaparehas ay si 1. O, natagtag. Ano ang matitira kay A? So, matitira kay A ay 2. Yan. This time, ano yung magkaparehas kay B and C? So, we have 5. Then, ano ang matitira kay B? Ang matitira kay B ay? Okay. So, what if we use a Venn diagram? Paano natin isi-shade? Yan. Let's start with, ito na lang yung last example. We have B and C. Ilagay nga muna uli natin kung ano yung mga elements ng each set. Starting with what's in the middle. Ano yung magkaparehas kay B and C? 5. Ano yung matitira kay B? 2 and 4. Ano yung matitira kay C? 1 at 6. Paano shading kapag yan ay B minus C? Kung anong matitira kay B, hindi kasama si 5 sa shade. Kasi nga tinagtag natin yung common between them. Yan. So, did you get it, everyone? Okay, now we have relation and function. Ito po ang ating learning objectives. So, define a relation and a function, identify the domain and range in a relation and a function, and evaluate a function, and apply the operations on functions. Ano? So, let's start with the definition. So, relation. So, literal, relationship siya. So, it is a set of ordered pairs of real numbers, x and y, such that each element of x corresponds to at least one element of the set y. Yun. So, simply, it is a relationship between two values. Ano? So, in this case, gamit na tayo ng variable representing those two values, such as x and y. Okay. So, it can be represented using this diagram, as you can see. So, we have here sets A and B. Ayan. So, we can see the relationship between these two using an arrow. Ano po? Set A is connected with one or at least one in set B. What is a function? A function is a relation. Ang relationship na makikita natin sa function is 1:1. Each input has exactly one output. Okay? Nakalagay dyan. All functions are relation, but not all relations are functions. Ano? So again, relationship kasi can be many to many, many to one, or one to one. Kapag po yan ay one to one na, meron ng tawag dyan. Function yon. So function is a relation. Pero hindi lahat ng relation ay functions. So let's give an example in real life. So pwedeng one subject teacher to many students. So that's one to many. May ka-pair na one input to many outputs. Aside from that is one subject matter to many projects, to many assignments. Many school supplies to many students. Many to many yung relationship. Ito naman, relationship na 1:1. Strictly 1:1. One car to one plate number. So, wala namang duplication na pwede sa plate number. Diba? Kapag may kaparehas, hindi yan ay nakaw. Ano? So, ano pa yung strictly 1:1 yung relationship? Okay, walang iba. Unique lang sa'yo. Example is DNA. One body or one human, one DNA. Unique sa'yo yun kasi wala na siya or hindi mo siya makikita sa iba. LRN, student number. So, one student, one LRN. So, unique lang yun sa'yo. Bawal siyang gamitin ng iba. So, yun, yung basic na relationship in a Catholic wedding. One husband, one wife. 1 is to 1. So that is the difference between a relation and a function. Now, it can be seen, okay, using this diagram again. And in here, we can now distinguish what is the difference between a domain and the range. So, the first elements, so if it is in a diagram, usually makita daw natin siya sa left side. Ito yung tinatawag na input, the domain. And for every input, syempre, meron siyang ka-pair na output. So, yun yung tinatawag nating range. Okay? So, usually our range in a diagram can be seen on the right side naman. If we are given this example naman, we have here ordered pairs. Paano natin madistinguish dyan kung alin ang domain, alin yung range? Again, domain usually is the first element, okay, in our ordered pair as x value. Tapos yung range natin, yun yung second element sa ating ordered pair. O usually yung ating y values. Okay? We have 0, we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. Yan yung ating domain. Then yung pangalawa naman, yan yung ating mga y values or yung ating mga range. Okay, so if we are given this example again, can we determine what is our domain and range? Let's start with our domain. Our domain is, ayan, ano ba yung mga x values natin? Okay, dahil naulit yung 0 natin, isang beses lang natin siyang ililista. How about yung ating y? Ang ating y naman syempre yung pangalawa dyan sa ating ordered pair. So we have, ayan. So, can we determine if this is a function or a relation? Again, kapag relation, may at least one nagka-pair na y. However, kapag function, strictly 1x, 1y. Ito ba ay function or relation? So, ito po ay considered na relation lang. Bakit? Strictly 1 is to 1. So, in here, yung 0 natin na x, isa lang dapat yung ka-pair niyang y. Kaso, as you can see, naulit si x. Ibig sabihin meron siyang kapartner pa na ibang y. So, this is not considered as a function. Itong buong to is not a function. Kung hindi siya function, ano lang siya? Relation lang yan. Again, kapag nakita nyo na yung ating x value ay naulit, ibig sabihin dalawa yung ka-pair niyang y. So, automatic, hindi yan function. So, yung y, okay lang naman siya na maulit. Pero yung x, bawal siyang maulit. One input to one output lang dapat. Okay, then we also have function notations. Function notations can be represented by this f of x. So, ang basa dyan ay f of x. And our f of x can be also denoted as our y. So, ibig sabihin, if we have this equation, y is equals to 2x plus 3, we can change our y here to f of x. Kasi magkaparehas lang naman sila eh. Y is equal to f of x. So, yung y ko dito, pwede kong palitan, gawin kong f of x. Parehas lang naman kasi sila. Then, I have here the function notations. So, the notation of f sub 1 only means that we substitute the value of x as equal to 1, resulting the function value. So, in here, kapag daw nagkaroon ng value si x, isa-substitute natin siya sa atin pong given equation. So, for example, I have here f of x is equal to 2x plus 3 and let x is equal to 1. So, anong gagawin ko dyan? Yung x na makikita natin dito sa ating given, papalitan lang daw ng 1. So, we substituted the value 1 in our x and then perform the said operation. So, lahat na makikita yung x sa ating given, papalitan nyo ng 1. Dahil iisa lang naman yung x dyan sa ating given equation, so isa lang po yung ating papalitan. So, perform the said operation starting with multiplication. Multiplication po to, so that's 2 times 1, 2 plus 3. So, our answer is 5. Ano? So, simple lang naman yung function notation. Magsasubstitute ka lang ng value kay x. Now, I have here another example. Ayan. As you can see, we have f of x is equals to 2x raised to 2 or 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. Ito yung ating given equation. So, as you can see, dalawa yung makita nating x dyan. So, dalawa yung papalitan kong x. So, let x is equal to 2. Ayan, so may sagot na. So, dapat daw maging sagot natin dyan ay 15. So, let us show kung paano po siya na-compute na 15. Okay, then perform the said operation. Ano yung uunahin ko muna dyan? Siyempre, yung may exponent. What is 2 squared? Or 2 times 2? 2 squared is 4. Tapos may 2 tayo sa labas pa. 4 times 2. O, yan ay magiging 8 plus. O, sunod natin ito naman. What is 3 times 2? 6. Tapos, meron pa rin tayo 1. So, what is 8 plus 6 plus 1? Correct. That is 15. Kaya 15 po yung sagot natin doon. Okay, now I want you to try itong next example. 9x minus 14. Then let x be equal to 5. Dapat na makuha niyong sagot ay 31. Okay, so try on your own. Iisa lang naman yung x dyan, so isa lang yung papalitan nyo. Ayan. I have here different operations that we can use for our function, starting with the sum or the difference. Yan, pagsamahin natin kasi isa lang naman daw yung concept niyan. So it is denoted by f plus g or f minus g is the function defined by f plus g or f minus g of x is equal to f of x plus minus g of x. Ano? So literal, pag-aadin lang daw natin yung dalawa nating functions. So our functions can be named using different letters, pero in this case, ang ginamit nilang letters is f and g. So ito yung unang function, ito yung pangalawang function. Ano? So let's have an example. Okay, so in here, our f of x is 2x plus 2. Then the other function, g of x, we have 3x plus 2. We wanted to get the sum. O, pag-aadin daw natin si f at saka si g. So, paano yun gagawin? So, f of x, ginawa nating 2x plus 2 plus si g of x naman. Si g of x natin ay si 3x plus 2. Saan nakuha yung mga yan? Ito po, nasa given. Si f of x at saka si g of x. Tapos pinalitan lang natin. Then, perform the said operation. So, ano po ang gagawin natin kapag tayo po ay nag-add ng ganyan? May variable at may constant. Combine like terms. So, ano po ba dito yung pwede lang pagsamahin? Siyempre, may mga variable na x, tsaka yung walang variable na x. So, yun lang yung pwedeng i-add. So, what is 2x plus 3x? So, that would be 5x. So, 2 plus 2, siyempre, ang sagot natin ay 4. Yan. So, ganun mag-add. 5x plus 4 ang ating magiging final answer. Did you get it, everyone? Ayan. However, kapag naman po subtract, ginawa natin, using the same equations for each function, okay, solve natin siya. So, let's start with f. Ano nga po yung given natin kay f? We have 2x plus 2. Ayan si f of x. Minus, ang g natin ay 3x plus 2. So, dito, hindi tayo pwedeng diretsyong mag-combine like terms, like addition. Kasi we need to distribute first our minus sign. Saan tayo magdidistribute ng minus sign? Doon sa pangalawa nating given. So, this will become negative 3x or minus 3x. Then, yung positive natin magiging negative. That's why this will be negative 2. Then, kopyahin ko lang tong 2x plus 2 sa unahan. Alright. So, after natin ma-distribute yung ating negative symbol, pwede na tayo mag-perform ng operation. So, again, in here, combine like terms. Alin lang yung pwedeng pagsamahin dyan? Si 2x at saka si negative 3x. So, what is 2x minus 3x? Negative 1x. So, we're not going to write 1 anymore kasi understood na may 1 dyan sa unahan ni x. So, gagawin na lang natin siyang imaginary. Again, hindi na sinusulat yung 1 sa unahan. Then, let's compute for the constants. What is 2 minus 2? 2 minus 2 is 0. Lalagay pa ba natin yung 0 dito? Hindi na. So, ang ating final answer is negative x. Did you get it, everyone? Then, of course, we have another operation here. We have the product of f of x and g of x. Okay? So, it is denoted by this symbol, yung period. So, let's multiply f of x and g of x. Ganun pa rin po yung given natin. Ang f of x natin ay 2x plus 2. Ang g of x natin ay 3x plus 2. So, pag mumultiplyin lang daw natin silang dalawa. Okay, paano po tayo nagmumultiply ng dalawang binomial? Yan, gagamit tayo ng FOIL method. Can you still remember what FOIL method is? First, outer, inner, last. Okay, so let's start with first, multiply. What is 2x times 3x? 2 times 3, 6. X times x, yung exponent niya na imaginary 1, pag-aadin lang natin. So, x times x will become x squared. Again, yung imaginary 1 sa taas ng ating x, pinag-add lang. Kaya siya naging 2. Next, after ng first, outer naman. Outer, itong 2x times 2. 4. Tapos, dahil wala naman tong x, edi kakopyahin lang natin yung variable na x. Next, after ng outer, inner naman, yung dalawa dito sa gitna. So, we have 2 times 3x. 2 times 3x, that would be 6. 2 times 3 ay 6. Tapos, kopyahin ko lang yung x dito kasi wala namang x yung isa. Then, after po ng inner, we have L, last. So, ang last natin, syempre, so 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2? Syempre, 4. Positive 4. Yan. However, we're not yet done because there are common terms or like terms that we can combine. Ano yung pwede natin pagsamahin dito? O, yung x squared, wala naman siyang katulad dito. Yung 4, wala naman siyang katulad na constant. So, ang pwede lang pagsamahin dyan yung may parehas na x. So what is 4x plus 6x? Okay, so that will be 10x. Na-combine, kopyahin ko lang yung nasa unahan, 6x squared. Tapos, ito namang 4 plus 4. Okay, so yun yung ating final answer. Okay, next. Okay, of course, we have the quotient. Division naman ang ating gagawin. So, denoted by f of x over g of x. So, the first function will always be the numerator. The second function will always be the denominator, where g of x cannot be equal to 0. Bakit? Pag nag-0 si g of x, yun ay magiging undefined. Yan. So, let's start again by substituting the values. Yan, actually, madali lang pala. Bakit? Kasi yung equation ni f of x is the same with the equation for g of x. So, paano kapag sinuli yan as a fraction? So again, sabi ni ma'am, yung first function will always be our numerator. So si f of x na 2x plus 2 ay numerator. And then, si g of x naman, ganoon pa rin naman ang given, 2x plus 2. Yan. So siya naman yung nasa denominator. Alright, so if the numerator is the same with the denominator, that is equivalent to 1. Diba? Ayun na. Yun na yung sagot. Magkapares kasi yung numerator and denominator. That's equal to 1. Pero, how about if we are given like this? Let's say, ang atin pong f of x naman ay, f of x is paano natin i-divide yan? Ano yung nasa taas? Alin yung nasa baba? So, yung numerator natin, syempre si f of x. So, ang ating f of x ay 4x plus 6 over. So, in here, paano natin siya i-divide? Hindi magkaparehas yung numerator and denominator. So, ano yung gagawin natin? Okay, syempre we're going to divide. Pero dito, hindi pwedeng diretsong cancel. Hindi pwedeng diretsong cancel. Bakit? Okay, yung bawat terms natin separated siya by an operation. So, hindi siya pwedeng i-diretsong i-cancel. So, anong gagawin natin? Maglalabas tayo ng value. So, let's take a look sa numerator. Anong number yung pwede nating ma-divide kay 4 at kay 6? Saan siya pwedeng i-divide? Pwede ba tayo maglabas ng 2 kay 4 at 6? Yes, it is divisible by 2. Yan. So, naglabas kasi tayo ng 2. So, ano matitira kay 4x? 2x lang. Okay, next. Maglalabas din tayo ng 2 kay 6. What is 6 divided by 2? Yes. So, matitira kay 6 ay 3. Yan. Tapos, kopyahin ko lang yung nasa denominator. Pwede na tayo dyang mag-cancel. Since nakapaglabas na tayo ng factor. Ayan. So, tagtag na to, tagtag na to. So, what will be our final answer? Correct. So, matitira na lang ay kung ano yung nasa loob ng, or nasa taas, nasa numerator. We have 2x plus 3. Ayan. So, ganyan lang po ang ating gagawin if ganyan po yung given natin. Ano? Eh, what if meron tayong given na value? O, yan. So, let's say, for example, ito ay negative 1. Okay? Nalagyan ng value. So, the first thing that you need to do is to substitute negative 1 to all of the x in our given equation. Okay? Palitan to. Then, pag na-substitute yung mga values sa ating x, edi perform the said operation. Yan. So, ganun lang yung gagawin natin kapag may given na value si x. Substitute muna bago i-perform yung said operation. Then, lastly, we have the composite function. So, what do you mean by composite function? It is created when function is substituted into another function. So, sa madalit sabi, may function sa loob ng isa pang function. So, it is denoted by the symbol, yung hollowed circle, butas yung gitna. So, if we have f composite to g, ganito daw po ang itsura niyan. At ganito siya binabasa. So, that would be f of g of x. So, doon sa loob ni f, merong g. However, kapag ito naman yung nauna, g of x, or g of f, ganito naman ang basa dyan. G of f of x. Ibig sabihin, sa loob ni g, may isang function, si f of x. Gets ba? So, instead na number, ang isa-substitute dito kay x, isa pang function. Ano? So, let me give you an example. Okay, here we have 2x plus 2 again for our f of x. Then, 3x plus 1 naman for our g of x. Now, we wanted to look for f of g of x. So, ibig sabihin nga nito, sa loob ni f, merong g of x. Okay? So, paano po ang substitution nan? Okay. Yung buong equation ni g ay ilalagay natin kay f. Okay? Let's start with writing first kung ano yung equation ni f. F of x. So, ang equation ni f of x sa ating given is, then substitute now. Ang substitute ko kay x ay yung buong g of x. So, ano yung buong g of x dyan sa ating given? Okay. So, ito ay magiging, ang g of x natin ito. And then, kopyahin ko lang syempre yung ibang values. Okay. Gets ba kung bakit ganyan? Kung saan ang galing yung 3x plus 1? Nasa given. Kailangan daw sa loob ni f of x ay may g of x na function. Now, let's perform the said operation. What are we going to do first? Parentheses, Hindi po pwede. Hindi pwedeng pagsamahin ang may variable na x so walang variable. Hindi pwedeng pagsamahin yung dalawa. So, anong gagawin? Let's multiply or distribute the constant outside the parenthesis. So, i-multiply natin si 2 kay 3 of x, i-multiply natin si 2 kay 1. What is 2 times 3x? 2 times 3, 6. Tapos, kopyahin ko lang yung x. Next, 2 times 1 is, yes, positive 2. Tapos, kopyahin ko lang to. May plus 2 pa sa labas. So, what are we going to do next? Combine like terms. Alin lang yung pwedeng pagsamahin dito? Siyempre, yung 2 and 2. What is 2 plus 2? 4. Correct. So, our final answer should be, yung 6x, hindi siya pwedeng i-add kay 2 kasi siya ay may variable na x. So, kopyahin ko lang 6x, 4. Now, that would be our final answer. So, ganun lang. So, loob ni f of x, may g of x. Yan. Ay, how about daw kapag ganito, baliktad naman. Si g of x yung nasa labas. And ang isasubstitute natin ay yung f of x. So, it should be written as, si g yung nasa labas, si f of x naman yung isasubstitute natin sa kanya. Okay. So, let's substitute the equation starting with, ayan. What is our g of x? Dahil siya yung nasa labas, siya muna yung ating uunahin. Our g of x in the given is, so ano yung ating ipapalit na f of x? We have f to ha, 2x plus 2. So, nang galing nasa given? 2x plus 2 cf. Okay, then copy the rest of the values. Okay, so ano nga yung gagawin dyan? After ma-substitute? Okay, so i-distribute natin yung number na nasa labas sa lahat po ng term sa loob ng parentheses. Okay, that's multiplication. Multiply. What is 3 times 2x? O, diyan ay 6x. Next, what is 3 times 2? That would be 6. Then, copyahin ko lang si 1. Yung 1 na ito. Okay, then combine like terms. Alin lang yung pwedeng pagsamahin dyan? Siyempre, itong ating dalawang constant. Si 6 at saka si 1. Tapos, copyahin ko lang si 6x. Copyahin ko lang si 6x. 6 plus 1 is? Yes, correct. So, yan ay magiging 7. That would be our final answer. Did you get it, everyone? So, I think that would be all, everyone. I have here an activity and I want you to answer this in one whole sheet of paper kasi magdodrawing kayo dyan ng Venn diagram. So, baka hindi ka siya sa isang crosswise lang. So, again, follow my instruction. Put this in one whole sheet of yellow paper. Yan. And then, sasubmit na lang ulit natin siya next meeting, face-to-face. Okay? Please provide a solution. Then, box your final answer. Okay? So, I think that would be all. Goodbye, everyone.